Hello, guys. We're going to be talking about the composition of the sad song. So I asked you to start your composition from a visual cue, and the visual cue should be a black and white photo. I decided to choose this black and white photo of a dog trapped in a cage because we all kind of feel like that, or at least I kind of feel like that. All right, so I decided I'm going to start my composition in Hook Theory because Hook Theory has a really nice way of playing around with chords. Okay, so when we first go over to Hook Theory, we're going to have the first page pop up. Today it's Take On Me, but the song changes every time. So if we take a look over here at the part that says products, I have bought the Hook Theory books, both 1 and 2 for you. So I suggest you take a look through those if you haven't looked through those before. They're really useful. But what we're actually going to be writing in is the Sketchpad. So if I click on Sketchpad, it opens up this page. It does take a little while to load, but once I have it loaded, it's going to be the place where I'm writing my chords. Now, we said yesterday when we were talking on the phone that one of the first things that we can do to make it sound sad is by changing the key. Now, minor is the one that we all know sounds very sad. There are other ones that sound sad as well. Dorian can sound sad. Phrygian can sound kind of Spanish and sad together. Harmonic minor is a really, really useful one for sounding sad. But for today, let's just stick with minor because I think it'll be really useful. Also, I'm going to change it to A minor just so that when I write my melody on the piano, I can use just white keys. Now, this is probably way too simple for most people, but if you haven't written a lot of stuff on piano before, then this is a good way to get into it. So I'm going to switch it to A minor. All right. Now, you should be able to hear the chords as I put these up here, but let's go ahead and start with the one chord because that's really common. And let's make the one chord 2 bars long. And as I listen to it, long. All right, now I want it to move somewhere. Let's just go up the scale. And let's make it longer. And let's have a listen. One of the nice things that I really like about Hook Theory too is just being able to drag and drop the harmony. So the harmony is this bottom box here. Make sure that if you click on that top part, it's going to take you to melody. So let's listen to this. I think it'll sound cooler if I do it before the beat, actually. And if I make it change right on beat 1 for this next chord. Let's have a listen to that. And since I am going up, 1, 2, 3, let's move to the 4th chord, why not? And, oh, that's kind of cool. It kind of kept it the same. So I think fate is telling me that I should kind of keep it the same. Now, 5 chord, we'll do short just like we had the 2 chord, but I think I might use something called a secondary dominant just because the 5 I think could sound really cool if I come over here. Now this is supposed to be E minor, so when I click on this, I'm gonna have to find the letter E again up here. Oh, E is the first one here. All right, and then let's see, instead of going to the 6th chord, if we were still moving up, I'm going to go back to 1 chord again. So I'm going to come click over here and let's put the 1 chord and let's make it for 2 bars long. A little bit longer. There we go. All right, let's have a listen just to that first bar and see if we like it, if we want to make any changes. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that first part. Now we need to start going to the second part. This second part, because we said we needed 16 bars, I want it to sound a little bit different. I've got this section here that kind of sounds similar, and I've got this section here that also sounds kind of similar. So this next section, let's just make it a little bit different altogether. I think I'm going to start with the 5 chord, and I'm going to make it only 1 measure long. And then I might make these even shorter. So let's make them half a bar. And let's make it sound major. It's uppercase, so we'll make it sound major a little bit. And this chord is also major. And this movement of 4 chords away from each other is really nice. And then I'm going to come back. And I could jump up to this one again, but instead I think I'm going to do that pattern going up. And then I'm going to make it, I need an ending. So I want the ending maybe to look like this first part, or maybe this part here. So I will give it one extra chord, and then I'll just copy and paste this whole thing here, I think. Let's see, the one extra chord I'll go to is a major sounding one. And then I'm going to copy and paste this whole section. If I hold down select, I can copy the whole deal. And when I press C, it'll copy, and when I press V, it'll paste. All right, so let's have a listen to this. Okay, I'm almost happy with this, but I might change, because this part seems like it's moving around a lot, and what I might end up doing is just changing the bass line. And to change just the bass line, I'm going to use inversions. And I'll show you how to do that right now. So let's see, I've got an E minor chord, and then I've got C going to an F, but maybe I'll keep because this C chord also has an E in it. I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to hit this inversion here. And I know that E is the second note of C, so when I click on it, now I've got an E on the bottom. It didn't change the chord, even though it changed the color, because it changed the bass line. So now I've got C going to E, C over E. Now let's see if we can get that same kind of movement. We've got F, D. I can do this as an inversion too. And now it's over F, which is kind of cool. And then I can, let's see what that sounds like. All right, I like it all. I don't love this chord though. I might just erase it and make this one longer. And let's see what that sounds like. Now this sounds like that beginning part again. Cool. All right, I'm happy with that. I like that. So the next thing I just want to do before I export it is I'm going to change the instruments that exports. If not, it'll sound like that piano. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this band. And you can see right here I've got a piano, and I've got all these two different types of piano here. And then I have this basic pop drums. So I'm going to get rid of the lead because I don't have a melody at all. I'm going to change this harmony part. Let's change it. For now, let's change it to strings, violin section. And for the bass section, I'm going to change it to a bowed bass. And then for this drums, maybe I'll just take some percussion. Oh, some shakers. There we go. And I'll do maybe a shaker on eighth note. So let's listen to what this sounds like. And I think I'm pretty happy with it. And you can always change a lot of these later. So the next part I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into Soundtrap, and then I'm going to play the piano stuff on Soundtrap. So to do this, to send it to Soundtrap, a lot of you guys will already know how to do this, but if you go up to this file section here, and you go to export, as long as you are signed in correctly, and you can make sure you're signed up in correctly by looking up here, then if you go to file, exports, and I can export as MIDI, and then you can see it's starting to download here. And once this is downloaded, then we'll go over to Soundtrap.